the hurricane is over. Before you know it, while you're shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. That's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer and sing ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get set for our fourth race of the season, of the fourth season of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. We are getting set to go racing here tonight under the lights at Bristol Dirt for 2 races. That's right, folks. You're getting 2 races for the price of 1 here tonight, and we will have 2 official different race winners. And these wins will count towards their goal towards the end of the regular season of getting into the playoffs. So it's going to be very interesting here tonight. These drivers are going to be fighting tooth and nail. There are 21 drivers in each field, and you can check down in the description below to see the starting lineup for each one of these 2 heats here tonight. Lining up on the pole position for this heat race is going to be Ryan George in the 4, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is his first or his second pole of the season. It is. It's already his second pole of the season. If I recall correctly, I think he got the pole for last week's race in Las Vegas. So Ryan George, that team very fast in qualifying. He's 24th in the points coming into this race, though, so certainly would like to find victory lane, which it would be for the first time in his Hershey's Cup, or in his Pizza X Series career, I should say. Sorry, I'm trying to get my dogs to stop barking, and I'm losing my train of thought. Alongside of him is going to be the 3 of Aubrey Eisestein. Aubrey, of course, trying to get that 3 to victory lane for the first time since Daytona last year when Madeline Crenshaw went to victory lane. We're going to give you, in this heat race, your top 10 in the point standings coming into tonight's event, and you'll have to just remember that for the second heat race. But for now, let's go down and get that command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Commands given. We're going to get them rolling off. And as they do that, these are your top 10. The point standings coming into tonight's 2 races presented by Golden Corral. D Shears is the points leader. Second in the standings is going to be Steve Morgan. Quentin Moore in 3rd. Nathan Hudson, after his win last week at Las Vegas, is now 4th. Angel Navarro in 5th. Our Daytona winner, Yin Canario, is 6th. Cody Llamas in 7th. Joshua Osborne, 8th, Chloe Erickson in 9th, and Alex Gray currently completes the top 10. We have had 3 former winners at this racetrack, but only 1 former winner is in the field here tonight. Not in this field, but in the upcoming field. We'll give you that in just a moment as the green flag is out here in duel number 1 at Bristol. Let's roll. The very first time we were here at Bristol Dirt, Stuart Gratton went to victory lane, and then last season in the 2 heat races we had here, it was the second dual race won by Glenn Dewitt. First heat race, though, was won by Chloe Erickson. We will see her in duel number 2 as Ryan George way up the track and gets into the wall off turn number 2. The battle is on for the lead. The points leader is going to be the race leader, D Shears, to the front, and the caution flag is out already. We only had 1 caution in 2 heat races last night in the Tax Slayer Truck Series. Looks like tonight maybe a little bit more caution-filled. Matt McIntire in the 9. He's got a lot of damage. Had a great run at Las Vegas last week, but he's in trouble, as is Mason Wood in the 18, and also the 05 of J Jefferson with a lot of damage. So, caution's out for the first time here tonight, and as D Shears shows the way, let's see what happened. This is just a classic case of Bristol Dirt. You see them here, they're going to be 3 wide, going down here into turn number 1, and we saw this with our only caution last night in the Tax Leader Truck Series race. Watch the 9 of M McIntire. He's the one down the inside line, and you're going to see right here he just cannot hang on to it. Back end comes around, loses all grip, slides up the track, and J Jefferson and Mason Wood are just innocent bystanders, and a hit into that outside wall here at Bristol is not an easy licking to take. As you can clearly see, it not only hurts for the driver, but it hurts for the race car. M McIntire and Mason Wood's cars immediately erupting into smoke. A lot of internal damage there, as well as the same for J Jefferson. So that brings us under the caution for the first time here tonight. Let's go back to green. Lights are out atop the pace car. Green flag will come back out on lap 7 of 40, and those 3 drivers we saw involved in the wreck are out of the race. Jefferson 19th, Mason Wood 20th, and M McIntire 21st. McIntire came into this race 16th in the point standings after that great run last week. Looks like he's going to drop in the points again here tonight. D Shears got us back underway in the 7, right behind him, Cole Deaver in the 15. That's where the battle's going to be for the race lead, as Deaver is going to get to the inside. Probably wondering now, why do drivers have that kind of difficulty down the inside line? You got to remember, this is a dirt track. And one of the things that drivers talk about concerning dirt tracks all the time is tire temperature. When you're on a racetrack that's asphalt or concrete, as the race goes on, the tire temperature builds up. And with that being said, was somebody involved in a wreck? No, I guess not. I thought I saw some gray smoke. But as that tire heat builds up, it allows you to have more grip. Here being on dirt, the tire temperatures do not go up. They basically stay the same. So you're running this racetrack literally on cold tires every single lap, which means you're going to have a very minimal amount of grip, and that's why you see drivers slipping and sliding around the way they do when we come to Bristol, as the caution is out for the second time here tonight already, here in this first heat race. And there's dirt kicked up everywhere, so it's kind of hard to tell where the trouble spot was. And being dirt, you don't see the skid marks either. Chris Dollerton involved in this one, as is Phil Parker, his teammate in the 5. So a couple of Michael Norman Motorsports drivers get involved in this caution. Cole Deaver, the race leader, though, Ashland Boyd fought his way up to 2nd place. Ryan George, Dougie Shears, and Garrett Sydnor. That is your top 5. Let's take a look and see what brought out our second caution of the evening here at Bristol. And this was enough to take both Phil Parker and Chris Dollerton out of the race. They've already retired, and it looks like just both of them encountering that issue I was talking about with the cold tires. Both cars snap loose on them, almost mirror image each other in hitting the wall, and that's what brought out the yellow flag. No contact or anything between one driver and another, just 2 drivers not able to hang on to their race cars, and must be very, very cool track conditions as well if drivers are having difficulty holding on to it by themselves like that. So it may come down to who's going to be able to handle their race car the best is who's going to win this race. As we've seen already, drivers' solo car spinning here with the cool track conditions and the cold tire temperatures. Green flag set to come back out, this time on lap 15 of 40. Should give us about 26 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. It's Cole Deaver, Ashland Boyd, Ryan George, Dougie Shears, and Garrett Sydnor. That was your top 5. The battle is on for 4th place. Make it 3rd place now. Ooh, boy. If someone snaps loose here, that's going to be a big wreck. They're 4 wide. Hudson, Eli Bright, Shears, and Ryan George. George way up the track. As we've had a lead change, Ashland Boyd will go to the top position. Boyd finished runner-up to Dougie Shears a couple of weeks ago at Rio de Janeiro. And comes into this race currently situated in the 23rd position in points. Ashland Boyd was in the playoffs last season. Finished out the year, I believe it was 4th, 3rd? No, 8th. 8th in the point standings after going to victory lane twice, trying to get the first win this season, and trouble for Ryan George. And he's going to be right in front of traffic. Look out. Is there a caution? There is a caution. I didn't know if there was a yellow flag out or not, or if they decided not to throw the yellow, but I guess with the 4 car out there on the track in front of the leaders. As slow as he was, they had to throw the caution. I also saw Alex Gray was just on pit road in the Exalta Chevy Camaro. We're not halfway through this race. We're actually just now halfway through this race and already working our 3rd caution of the evening. So let's see what happened as Ashlyn Boyd leads us under pacing. This was up near the front of the field too, inside the top 10. Jessica Miles on the inside line. It looks like she's going to have the same issue a number of drivers have had tonight. Oh my! Now that is a hard lick. And it looks like her teammate Alex Gray back there also spun up into the wall. Boy, that was a head-on lick into that outside wall for Jessica Miles. Miles has good numbers at this track. Last season, as a matter of fact, she and Alex Gray finished 1-2 in the TaxSlayer Truck Series dual race number 2 here 1 year ago, and both of them involved in a wreck here. Jessica Miles' day is obviously done. Same for Ryan George. I don't know if they'll get that 0 car back out there or not, but boy, like I said, it's going to come down to who's able to keep the wheel held pretty and keep their car from sliding up into the wall, who's going to win these 2 dual races. Certainly looks like that's the case. So as we prepare to go green flag racing again, out of the race due to this caution are the cars of Ryan George, Alex Gray, Jessica Miles. Leaves us 13 drivers of the original 21 in this heat to continue on. Green flag is back in the air. Now, I was looking here through the standings of the drivers that we would probably focus on in this heat that are in the top 10 in points. Dougie Shears, the points leader, would obviously be one of them, as we see him now battling for second with Cole Deaver. Also Nathan Hudson, who's now in the 4th position, our winner last week from Las Vegas. He's 4th in the standings. Ying Canario, we haven't talked about our Daytona winner, but he's in this field. He's back there at the tail end of the field right now. But he's top 10 in the points, as is Alex Gray, who came in this race 10th in points. We already know the story there. He's out of this event. Ooh, Hudson got the wall there off of turn 2. There's a car coming off pit road. A couple of cars were on pit road. I think a couple of teammates. Diego Yepez in the 21 and Ben Braley in the 02. And I don't know if those are regularly scheduled stops or not. Somehow I very much doubt it. Shears with the lead. Ashlyn Boyd back in a familiar spot, chasing the 7. That's what he was doing back at Rio. Now Garrett Sydnor going to try and get to the inside. Sydnor actually a former winner at this track in the Hershey's Cup Series back in, I think it was season 3. So he knows how to get around Bristol dirt. Looking good right now, trying to take the 2nd position away. Whoa! 19 of Justin Tucker. Hang on to it, buddy. Currently up in that 5th position, so 2 of the Joe Gibbs Racing cars running well in 3rd and 5th. And now A Baranauskas trying to crack the top 5, trying to get to the inside of Tucker, and almost got him into the wall. Battle for the lead, it's on. Garrett Sydnor to the inside. Dougie Shears way up topside and give the race lead for the moment to the 24 of Sydnor. He'll clear Shears off the corner. Shears going to get the wall off of 2 the least little bit. He's going to lose him some momentum, and that might bring Cole Deaver to his back bumper in a battle for the 2nd position. Nope, Shears hangs on to the spot. Deaver there. Oh, wow, look out. Contact back there. That time between the 19 of Tucker and the 2 of Baranauskas. Tucker backs off of that. Ying Canario right there as well. Canario, I think, has just cracked the top 10. He's up to the 8th position. As Eli Bright makes the move on A Baranauskas. That is for 5th place. I thought it was for 6th. It's for 5th. Canario now to the inside of Tucker. That is a battle for 7th. Meanwhile, battle for the lead is on. A battle for 3rd behind them. Shears and Sydnor, Boyd and Deaver. Boyd takes 3rd. Shears trying to take the lead. Got the top spot at the line that time. Now tries to clear off turn 2. Sydnor has to give up the spot as Eli Bright gets the wall further back. Closing in, 6 laps to go as the leader, Dougie Shears, hits the line. Shears trying to pick up his 2nd win of the season in only the first 4 races of the year. Sydnor right behind him. Sydnor in a state of semi-retirement in a way. Moving down to the Pizza Hut Series and what could possibly be his final season in NNSCRA competition. And Ashlyn Boyd trying to get his first win of the season after being a two-time winner last year. These three right now up here at the front might be the ones to settle it out for this win, as there are 4 laps to go. Justin Tucker is now up here. He's trying to take a podium position. It's a battle between teammates right now, side by side. Tucker will take the spot. Now he's looking for second. All of a sudden, that 19 is shot out of a cannon here in the closing stages. Almost a little contact between himself and G Sydnor as they'll battle for second. That's going to allow D Shears for the moment to be free from any issues. But as soon as I say that, Tucker might have thoughts about the race lead in this win. Here he comes to the bottom of the racetrack, and he's alongside as they're catching up to the 21 of J Yepez, who I mentioned, along with teammate Ben Braley, came to pit road. I'm not exactly sure what for. White flag displayed. One more lap to go here at Bristol. Tucker trying to hang on to the spot. Ooh, Ashlyn Boyd and G Sydnor, they're going to move by D Shears for second and third. Tucker, how about the rookie? He'll get his first career win here tonight at Bristol in heat race number 1. What a job by Justin Tucker. He was 4th with 3 laps to go and fought his way up to the victory in the closing stages. Tucker came into this race 30th in the point standings. This is his first career top 10, first career top 5, and first career win in the Pizza Hut X Series. How about that? Almost a 1-2 finish for the Gibbs drivers. Ashlyn Boyd finishes 3rd. G Sydnor was the meat in the Toyota sandwich. Standings official. Tucker will get the win. Sydnor finishes 2nd with Boyd in 3rd. Cole Deaver comes home in 4th. D Shears will probably still keep his points lead as he gets 5th. A Baranauskas was 6th. The Canario was able to bring it home 7th with Eli Bright, A Eisestein, and N Hudson completing the top 10. The last car to finish on the lead lap was 11th place, Jake Rogers. D Yepez finished 4 laps down with Ben Braley finishing out of the race in the 13th position, being joined by Ryan George, Alex Gray, Jessica Miles, Phil Parker, Chris Dollerton, J Jefferson, Mason Wood, and M McIntire. So that does it for our first heat race. We've already got another rookie winner in the form of Justin Tucker. He joins Canario and N Hudson as a rookie winner this season. Let's see what's going to happen now in our upcoming second heat race, which is coming up right now. Don't go away. So as we prepare here for our second heat race, this is going to be interesting because I mentioned that it looked like D Shears was going to keep the points lead heading to next week's race in Atlanta. The driver that he's battling, well, actually the 2 drivers that he's battling for the points lead are starting on the front row for this heat race. Steve Morgan came into this race 2nd in the points, and Quentin Moore, who's lined up on the outside of the front row, came into this race 3rd in the point standings. Now, the gap from Steve Morgan to D Shears was 9 points. The gap from Quentin Moore to D Shears was 13 points. With Shears finishing the race, the first heat race, in the 5th position, very unlikely that Steve Morgan could take the points lead away, but no doubt about it, if they finish with a win or second place, or at least, finish in the top 5, both Steve Morgan and Quentin Moore can keep themselves within striking distance of D Shears heading into next week's race at Atlanta. Other drivers we'll keep an eye on in this heat race, a lot of them starting up here near the front of the field as well. You've got Angel Navarro, 5th in the point stands. He's rolling off from the 7th spot. Cody Llamas, 7th in the point stands, is rolling off from 3rd. Joshua Osborne, 8th in points, is rolling off from 5th place. And then we'll also be keeping our eyes on a former winner at this track 1 year ago, Chloe Erickson, in the 46. She is in this field as well. We'll see if she can win her 2nd race in a row here at Bristol Dirt. Let's go down trackside, get the most famous words in motorsports for this heat race.
Drivers, start your engines!
And I certainly hope that these drivers were watching what went on in the first heat race. Cold tires are going to be an issue, as you clearly saw. 3 cautions, probably should have been 4, as you saw that incident with J Yepez and Ben Braley, but they didn't throw the yellow flag for that. So let's see what these drivers learned from that first heat race and what they can apply in this one, or is there really nothing you can do? Are you at the mercy of this racetrack? again, as I mentioned in the first heat race. If you want to see the official starting lineup for this second heat race, you can see it down in the description of this video. Here we go then. Getting set to go racing for 40 laps here in our second heat race. Steve Morgan, Quentin Moore get us underway. Green flag is out. Let's roll. Llamas wasting no time. His two teammates from ML Motorsports finished out of the race in the first heat, and they're 4 wide for the top position. Osborne, he's trying to lead the first lap. Who got it? There was contact between Llamas and Osborne, and Llamas, they say, barely did get the spot. Caution is out. Ooh, careful going through here, guys. Charles Jackson, a little contact there with Angel Navarro, as that was a battle for second. Osborne, though, is the leader under this yellow, and they're going to have to try and get themselves situated here behind the pace car. Osborne is the race leader. Seth Cole involved in this first caution of the evening, along with Daniel Olson possibly, and former winner at this track, Chloe Erickson. Looks like she may have been swept up in this wreck. Seth Cole, a lot of damage on the left side, the rear of his machine. It's been a very struggling start to the year for the 66 car, and the 66 team 39th in the points coming into this race. But Osborne leads the way. Let's see what brought out the yellow flag for the first time here tonight in heat race number 2. Well, I guess this just shows whether you've won at this track or not. Every time you come to Bristol Dirt, it's a new animal. Chloe Erickson was the driver that got loose there, snapped around right up in front of Seth Cole, and then nowhere for the 32 of Daniel Olson to be able to go. I was close to the rear of the field as well, so fortunately no other drivers were swept up in it, but nonetheless that brought out the caution and sets us up for a restart. Green flag set to come back out here when they come back around. Joshua Osborne out in front, Charles Jackson second, Cody Llamas third, then it's Angel Navarro and Steve Morgan, your top 5. Scott Roush, Chelsea Bowles, Carson Gumm, William Brock, and Quentin Moore will be your top 10 when we get the green flag back in the air. Seth Cole still sitting on pit road. Chloe Erickson and Daniel Olson did manage to get off of pit road. I believe they are still on the lead lap. Seth Cole, though, is going to be multiple laps down if they do get back out with that 66. Green flag is back in the air here at Bristol. And we get ourselves a bit into a long green flag run that might help to warm the tires up just the least little bit and get us into a long green flag run, but we're going to have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Charles Jackson for the top position to the inside of Joshua Osborne for the race lead. And he'll take the spot very easily as Osborne got really loose off the corner. He's going to lose second place now to Cody Llamas. Daniel Olson back on pit road in the 32 car. Saw he had some front end damage, and I'm guessing they're bringing him down pit road to try and get that repaired so that way he doesn't litter any debris on the track. As Osborne and Llamas continue to battle for second place, this all going on currently behind the race leader Charles Jackson. Osborne gonna clear for the spot, it looks like, off turn 2. Meanwhile, got a good battle back here for the 4th position. Steve Morgan has it. William Brock is firing towards the front of the field. He's up in the 5th spot trying to take that 4th position away. Llamas, crossover move up ahead on Joshua Osborne, trying to take second place back. The Florida Panthers Chevy Camaro looking very good right now, and he will take the position. Osborne, I think, may have gotten the wall there off turn 2. He's going to lose third place to Steve Morgan. And now Scott Roush to the bottom of the racetrack, that Advocare Ford Mustang. Not only going to go by Osborne for 4th, now looking to get 3rd place off of Steve Morgan. And he'll take it as Morgan way up the track. Now Osborne going to cross over to the inside. Battle continues for 3rd place. Top 2 have broken away for the moment. Charles Jackson out in front, Cody Llamas there in 2nd. It's about almost a half-second gap between the two. This time by, did the gap close or increase? It increased a little bit, and some contact there. Angel Navarro into the left rear quarter panel of Joshua Osborne. They're 3 wide with Steve Morgan down low in that battle for 3rd. Morgan's going to hold on to the spot for the moment. Osborne way up the racetrack. We call that the marbles. Not a lot of grip up there. That's where a lot of the excess dirt is kicked up to, and so it's very slippery up there. And you can clearly see it lost a lot of grip and a lot of positions for Osborne, who slipped back to 7th. Got a car on pit road. That appears to be the 71 of James Shelly. Not certain what happened with him that's causing him to come to pit lane, but you'll get filled in with it on the NNSCRA split cam. Jackson trying to hang on to the top spot. Caution! Osborne gets spun by Steve Morgan, and they're piling in. Qualls got a piece. Olson's involved, as well as Mark Davidson. Yellow flag will come out for the second time, I believe, here tonight. And that was the last thing that Charles Jackson wanted to see. Don't know exactly how that started. Looked like someone got the wall off turn 2. It might have been the 60 of Morgan. And then it was just on from there. So halfway through our second heat race, and our second caution of the day is out. Shelly's on pit road, as is Daniel Olson. There's Osborne. He's got left side damage, front damage, right damage. He was hit from just about every angle. And I'm pretty certain that his teammate in the 27 got involved as well. There's Mark Davidson in the 29 coming to pit road, and there was another car just ahead of him. I think that was Morgan's 60. Yes, it was. Steve Morgan, who was running up inside the top 5. Guy who came in second in the points standings. Looks like his evening is over. Let's take a look and see what happened. Steve Morgan getting up into what we were calling the marbles. There's no grip up there, and he loses a lot of momentum as a result. You see Angel Navarro keeping his foot in the throttle. Oh, yeah, and Navarro was right on his left rear quarter panel. When Steve Morgan hits the wall and comes down, Navarro's already there. And then Morgan gets spun into the 70 of Osborne, and Osborne's trying to save it, but I mean, it's dirt. It's slippery. How are you going to save it? More contact there with the 60, and then they slide up into traffic. Nowhere for Mark Davidson to go. Right there. Wow, Qualls never hit him. Carson Gum got into the back of Qualls, but boy, that was a nice avoidance on the part of the 27, and then Daniel Olson, nowhere for him to go. He just clobbers into the back of the 60, and I think that was basically the death knell hit for Steve Morgan. We don't normally do this, but we're going to take an onboard with the 27 of James Qualls with an amazing job of avoiding this wreck. It's hard enough to do this in a regular track. It's even harder to do it on dirt. Watch this. Look at that. Wow, and he almost got sideswiped by Joshua Hyatt, but what a job by James Qualls to get through that. By all rights and purposes, dirt track racing, he should have been collected in that wreck. Still waiting on the signal of 1 lap to green. We are now past the halfway point here of our second dual race. Charles Jackson's the race leader, Cody Llamas second, Scott Roush third, William Brock fourth. Quentin Moore is currently in 5th. 6th place is going to be Kyle Langland, as we will go back green this next time. Chelsea Bowles, Angel Navarro, Joshua Hyatt, and Christian Merrick Jr. That is your top 10. Out of the race, 2 drivers, Steve Morgan and Mark Davidson. I'm expecting yet Daniel Olson also out of the race. James Shelly is 3 laps down, you see there on that inside line. So we have 17 cars still running, 16 on the lead lap. Joshua Osborne, I don't even think came to pit road to repair his race car, but he's still running as the green flag set to go back in the air. We're going to have a total of 18 laps to go in this heat race. Jackson setting sail just like he did before. Llamas there in second. Looks like the battle may be on for third. Scott Roush has it. William Brock wants it. Boy, they are really congested back here. I think they had a little bit of difficulty getting around James Shelly. Chelsea Bowles there and Christian Merrick Jr. Here comes James Qualls trying to crack the top 10. He just did. He was 10th last time by. Jordan Lopez we're looking at right now in the 34. Battle with Carson Gum. That's for the 8th spot. There's a battle for third still between Roush and Brock. So Roush will take it for the moment. Battle for fifth. Christian Moore the inside. Christian Merrick Jr. way up topside. Chelsea Bowles now into that mix. She'll move to sixth and now look for fifth place. Scott Roush got around William Brock for third and now tries to take second place away from Cody Llamas. He'll succeed in doing so. And now with Scott Roush in the runner-up spot, should Charles Jackson be worried? Will he have a challenge for the lead momentarily? Llamas trying to get back to the bumper of the 38 to take second place back. Might have a run on him going down here into turn one. Nope, not quite. As a matter of fact, lost ground, and Roush gained a little bit of ground on Jackson for a moment. Jackson, though, got a little bit higher groove off of 2 and used that straightaway speed to pull away from the 38. Jackson hoping that these laps tick away quickly. Already we've had a rookie go to victory lane tonight with Justin Tucker winning the first dual race, or the first heat race. Charles Jackson would love to be the second, a former Hershey's Cup Series winner, a former Tax Slayer Truck Series winner, trying to win now in the Pizza Hut X Series. Best battle on track right now is going on, it looks like, for around the 7th position. Navarro, Qualls, Carson Gumm, and Kyle Langland. That's 7th back through 10th. Oh, and Qualls! Up and into the wall, so too is Lopez and Christian Merrick Jr. as they all spun, and there's more drivers involved. Osborne and Chloe Erickson, and the leaders are going to be in this pretty soon. Leaders are going to catch up to this. Look out! Yikes. Chloe Erickson's disabled race car in the middle of the track right in front of the leaders. Qualls was running in the top 10, and he got loose. We saw it happen live, and I think Lopez had the same thing happen. He swept up Christian Merrick Jr. Caution's out. We will get back green, but it'll be a doozy of a shootout. And what a tough break there for Qualls. Just couldn't hang on to it. Same for Lopez. Yellow flag out. Let's take a look and see what happened. This wasn't even really that low entry we see drivers have difficulty with. This was right in the middle of the groove. And it still snapped around on him. Up and into the wall he goes, and I said it was Lopez who snapped up the track between himself and Christian Merrick Jr. Now seeing the replay, I'm not really certain that was the case. I think it might have actually been the 78 that got loose. That's exactly right, yep. Going into turn one here, you watch right there is the little wiggle. That's enough for it to snap around and nowhere for Lopez to go. Both cars up and into the wall. Both cars up and in the air as well. At one point, both drivers had only 2 tires touching the dirt. And then you're going to see, there is Erickson, there is Osborne. As the cars drift down to the bottom of the track, James Qualls trying to get it going again. Just got hit from behind by the 46. Bristol dirt was kind to Chloe Erickson last season, has not been kind here tonight. It looks like we're going to have more drivers back in the garage area nearing the completion of tonight's second heat race. We should get the 1-to-go signal this time, which means I think we'll be restarting this race with 4 laps remaining. Charles Jackson's been pretty dominant since being out in front, but Cody Llamas, Scott Roush, they've got another chance. And we saw before Justin Tucker in the first heat race moved his way in the last 3 or so laps from 4th to 1st. Is there anybody back there? Brock, Bowles, Moore, Navarro, that we really haven't looked at yet that could be a factor in the closing stages of this race. We'll have to wait and see. We've now got only 14 cars running, 13 on the lead lap as James Qualls, Jordan Lopez, Chloe Erickson join the others back in the garage area. Here we go, 4 laps remaining, green flag back in the air, and Jackson fired off perfectly. Cody Llamas lost ground. So the battle may heat up more for second than it will for the race lead. Scott Roush trying to get the inside of Cody Llamas. Meanwhile, Quentin Moore and Chelsea Bowles rubbing doors. That's for the 4th spot. Carson Gumm, William Brock, Angel Navarro, Kyle Langland back there in a dogfight for spots inside the top 10. And now Roush going to get to the left rear quarter panel of Llamas. This is for second place. All going on behind Charles Jackson, who wants to make it through 3 and 4 to see that white flag. He will see it. We're still green, still green. We'll finish this race out. 1 lap to go for Charles Jackson. Mentioned he won in the Hershey's Cup Series. He won last season in the Taxslayer Truck Series. He'll complete a career sweep. First Pizza Hut X Series career win for Charles Jackson tonight in heat race number 2 at Bristol Dirt. First win of the season for Backmarker Motorsports. Jackson came into tonight's race situated in the 32nd position in points. And much like Justin Tucker in the first heat race, it is Jackson's first top 10, first top 5, and first win in his Pizza Hut X Series career. Charles Jackson competed last season for the Taxslayer Truck Series Championship at Auto Club. Might be making plans to battle for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship at Auto Club here with his win tonight. Rookies take the wins in the 2 heat races this evening. Justin Tucker in Heat 1, Charles Jackson here in Heat 2. Scott Roush snatched away second place in the closing stages. Carson Gum popped his way up to a podium in 3rd. William Brock ended up 4th. And Cody Llamas, who spent a good portion of this race in 2nd, fell back there on that last restart to finish in 5th. Still a good points day overall for the 48 team. Quentin Moore is going to get 6th. 7th for Kyle Langland, Angel Navarro 8th, 9th Chelsea Bowles, and completing your top 10 was the rookie Joshua Hyatt. The rest of the cars that finished the race, Zach Flickinger 11th, Joshua Osborne 12th, and Christian Merrick Jr. in 13th. James Shelly finished 3 laps down, but he finished 14th ahead of the drivers that finished out of the race. James Qualls, Jordan Lopez, Chloe Erickson, Steve Morgan, Mark Davidson, Daniel Olson, and Seth Cole. So that is going to do it here tonight. Justin Tucker and Charles Jackson join the likes of Ying Canario, Nathan Hudson, and Dougie Shears as winners here this season. So already 5 different winners this year, and there's only 12 spots up for grabs in the playoffs. So it's getting very congested very early on here this season. But hope you guys enjoyed tonight's races. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. We have shown you full footage results from your 2 heat races. These are the rookie points and overall points heading to next week's race at Atlanta. We still have to finish up our race weekend here. You'll see the 2 heat races for the Hershey's Cup Series coming up next here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Offline racing at its best.